talk about delegation of authority, we are simply talking about the share of power. Okay.
Okay.
There are times
Share of
whereby,
power.
yes, ma'am. There are times whereby the manager will not be around. The floor manager will have to take over. At that moment, responsibility and power and authority is being delegated, is being given to the floor manager in absence of the manager, pending the time he will take over. Okay. It's also a channel for, and the way it is now, as the chief executive officer, you cannot delegate power, you cannot delegate authority to maybe a floor member or maybe a supervisor. If you want to delegate authority now, you have to look at your managers or directing managers as a CEO, right? So it's also a structure, a channel of delegation of authority. There's this very important one. It says that it means the clarification, right? Clarifying responsibilities and work relations. How does hierarchy classify? How does the principle of hierarchy classify responsibility and work relation? Do you have anything on that?
Each department or each manager, they have their schedule of duty.
Okay.
Unless you are directed to stand in on behalf of other maybe top officials, they have their own, which one, the factory section, the admin section. Unless any of them is not around, you have to do what? To stand in for him or her. He is not there, you cannot just go there and do what? And take over his responsibility. That's the way I understand it. I'm here to learn.
Wonderful. That's okay, ma'am. In line with what you have just said, and permit me to use this adage in Yoruba. Only meaning that if you are in an organization, let me put that in English. That there is a plant, it understands its environment, it understands its strength, and it understands its capacity, and that plant works in line with within its capacity and within its territory. Now, in an organization, just like in class D, part 305, when the lady was talking about what it means by government, what it means by the function of government under the rules and regulation, provision of rules and regulation in a state. Now, she said something that really raised an eyebrow. She said, giving instructions on acceptable behaviors. Now, this means that there are some things that you do and you can go scot-free because there was never a rule that says don't do. So now, speaking of the principle of hierarchy, now you know that as a supervisor, this is your responsibility. This is your job. This is your role. You cannot say because the manager is not available, is not on seat, and the manager is needed, so you went to his office and sit on his seat and you begin to do your job. It is definitely out of line. Yes. It defines your responsibility. You dare not go outside your responsibility and play smart. And work relation, in a sense that it will specify that as a floor manager, this is how you relate with junior staff. Yes. As a junior staff, this is how you relate with your managers. Work relation, it will specify everything. So you know that if you have done something outside this terrain, then you know that you are going to bear the consequence.
Yes, there is rule for it.
Exactly. So
we call it civil service rule.
Wonderful.
It is easier to use it against you than to use it to favor you.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I think you understand the process, man. So that's it basically. So let's take a step further.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So what else do you have there? Do you have anything on span of control?
Ah, no.
Okay, but I think the word is not actually new. Probably you might have heard of this word in our 100 level second semester or 200 level first semester. The word span of control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, please can you say something about it, ma?
The your capacity, maybe you have 100 staff, or it's only 50 staff you can um handle, that will not be
Wonderful,
able to
wonderful,
that will not be able to,
wonderful,
at least you won't be able to mess up, that you're able to
wonderful,
coordinate them. I think.
wonderful, wonderful. Yes, that's the word. Now it means the number of subordinates. You said the keywords. You said staff and control. All right, like it says span. How much? All right, how well, how effectively can you control your subordinates as a superior? Now it says here that by span of control, we are simply talking about number of subordinates which a superior officer can not just control, but effectively, all right, effectively supervised, direct, and control. Then we talk about that as span of control. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now let's take a step further.
Okay.
Now we'll talk about unity of command. You want to say anything on that, ma'am?
No, I don't have. I
Now,
don't have.
awesome, awesome. It's okay. Now, but when we talk about unity of command, what are we talking about here? We're simply talking about a principle, all right, given by an organization. Okay. And now, what is this principle about? It says that each employee in a subordinate level should be able to what? Should be able to be accountable to a superior. All right. And
Okay, sir.
accountability to superior in the sense that as a subordinate to your superior, you need to be responsible to one superior. Are you getting it? It
Yes,
says
I'm
that
with you, sir.
no
Accountable to
employee.
your superior.
Yeah. Now, the number here, they are very specific about the number. It says that no employee should be subjected to the order of more than one superior, meaning that as a mean that as a subordinate, you cannot serve two master. I don't know if you get it. You
Yes,
cannot
sir.
you cannot be responsible to two superior at the same time.
Okay. There will be
Now
conflicts.
there will be conflict because you have to double up. You have to double up to attend. Now let's not get this wrong. In a situation whereby we have hybrid jobs or hybrid staff or hybrid workers, you can be responsible to multiple superiors. I don't know if you understand, but in an
Yes, sir.
organization where we have principle of hierarchy, where we also have chain of command, where we also have span of control in an organization, it is according to unity of command. It is not okay. It is not proper for one subordinate to be responsible to multiple superior. All right, one
Okay, sir.
superior or one subordinate according to unity of command.
Okay, sir.
Now let's take a step. Let's take a step further. Okay. So now we have here. Do you have anything? Just a moment. I'm trying to adjust something. Do you have anything on staff agency?
It's like we have done something. Let me check my notes. I have it.
Yes.
What I have is organization of department.
Okay.
But let's go on with that staff line and auxiliary agencies.
Okay.
Let's touch it.
Now, when we talk about staff in public administration, can you say something about it, ma'am? It's still under the same thing we are talking about. When we talk about staff in public administration, do you want to say something about it, ma'am?
The way I understand staff, when you have finally when you have gone through the rudiment of or to make you a staff or employment, you have
Okay.
passed the necessary exam, you have been told the rules and regulations, you have done induction, at least to know the rules and regulation of the organization or the office you want to work with.
Wonderful.
You have been confirmed as a staff. When you start, you are not a staff, but when you are being confirmed, that is when you are staff. That means you have passed your we normally call it probation period.
Wonderful.
That is when you have full access to the benefits of the organization.
Good. Good. So now, but there's this one question you are yet to answer, ma'am. You've
Okay,
done
sir.
everything that needed to be done. You've been confirmed. So what is your responsibility in that organization as a staff?
Okay. That's your line of duty.
Good. Now let me help break this down further. Now, the reason why you need to go through all these rigorous processes, such like you have said, that even before you are going to be approved as a staff, you still have to go through your probation period. Why? Because the organization needs to be sure, the parastatal needs to be sure, the agency needs to be sure that you understand the do's and don'ts, the nitty-gritty of your job, and how to effectively and efficiently implement it. Now, talking about staff and why we have them in anywhere, all right, they are towards the key word here is that they are towards aid, all right,
Okay.
they are to
Mm-hmm.
aid activities in line, all right, they are to aid activities and duties. No, they are to aid activities in line of their duties.
Okay.
So now you can be respected to, you can be tied to the accounting department, you can be tied to the public relation department, you can be tied to any department. But the most important thing is that you are helping, all right? You are carrying out these duties, all right? And this is why you are there basically is to get things done, to aid, all right, the head of department or chief executive in discharging their duties. And that's
Okay,
why
sir.
everybody has a boss. All right. And the
Yes.
reason why you have a boss is because that boss cannot be in that office if you are not there to
Mhm.
help him. He cannot do everything himself.
Yes.
Even the president has a lot of people working with him, not working for him, working with him. That's why you hear, this is Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. It doesn't mean it is only Bola Ahmed Tinubu that is working. He has a lot of ministers, a lot of people working in his as his administration. And when anything
Yes.
happens, they are all going to be responsible for it. So staff now, this is why we have staff. It refers to such activities in an organization. All right. It's not even about the individual now. Staff, that name itself is seen as activities in an organization. All right, which aid the head of department or chief executive in discharging his duties.
Okay, sir.
Are we together, man?
Yes, sir. Please give me 2 minutes, sir. I want to use the restroom, sir.
Okay, that's fine, man.
Hello, sir. Hello. Hello.
Ma, we are live, man.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's take a step further, man. So I believe you understand what it means by staff now.
Yes. To aid the activities in line of their duties.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. All right. So it says here that the staff aids the line by studying administrative problems, planning, communicating, advising, and suggesting. And that sums it up. Okay?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
So let's take a step further. Okay. So we have functions of staff agencies. There are some functions here. And some of the functions are to assist the agency in foreseeing problems and planning future programs. To ensure that chief executives are adequately and correctly informed.
Okay.
They help, when I was working then with Cappadocia, there's this thing we call reports. Every day, you must do a report. You
Or
must get the
every
report.
3 days.
Oh, mine back then is every day. Although we work one day in, one day out.
Okay.
So we'll get our reports latest the next morning of the next day. We'll get the report. It's very, very important. So, and why do we do that report? Is to help, because we are the one on the field. We are the one at the office. The boss might not really come to the office, but he wants to know what is going on in the office. Everything he wants to know. So we are the people in the office. We give a report on our daily, not just the sales. I think then I was working with the finance department, and I was still working with the management to still see on something. So I have like 3 different reports. Apart from my finances, I still need to do reports on certain things. And why do I have to do this? I do this to, in order to adequately and correctly inform my superior.
To update the
Yeah, to
activities.
update. Wonderful. Wonderful. To update. That's a good one. Now, according to Mooney, that's Mooney, according to Mooney said staff work has 3 aspects. Okay? According to him, he said staff work has 3 aspects. First aspect is information, give adequate information. Second
Okay.
aspect is advisory information, advisory, meaning that they must advise. Since they know what is going on, first-hand information is from them. So they are in the best position to advise. And also, and also they supervise. They make sure things go smoothly as expected. It says here, by advice, it means that the best policy, the best possible advice which the staff can give to the executive on which he can make. All right. So on advice now, just like I said, they get first-hand information, and based on this, they can use in providing advice to their superior. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
we have those 3 points: supervision, advice, and information.
And okay. Information advice, and supervision.
Supervision. Wonderful. Now let's take a step further. So what do you have on what do you
Uh, I,
have under the
I,
functions of? Yes, please.
there's something in my notes. It say in
Okay,
Nigeria,
ma'am.
the staff agencies at the federal level are the presidency, the federal secretariat, the planning commission, department of budget and planning. It's not that.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it says in Nigeria, the staff agencies at the federal level are the presidency. All right. It's like I said, when we were talking about staffs, they are all about ensuring that certain things are to be done effectively, and all right, they are seen as a team working together. The presidency that I use Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Excellency, to explain now. When we say the presidency, he's not the only person. We
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of person working with
Yes,
him
eight.
as a team,
Eight.
with him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, even at the federal secretariat, a lot of staffs are there. Even the
Yes.
planning commissions and department of budget and planning. Now, individually, all these we have mentioned collectively makes up staff agencies at the federal level.
Federal.
So to
Yes.
get things done at the federal level, we have bodies that are responsible, and even these bodies have sub bodies that pull efforts collectively to make holistic improvements and to make holistic decisions that will reflect on the federal level policies. Just like we have the state levels too, and we have the local government level, but states
Level.
and local government still report back to federal. All right.
Okay, sir.
I don't know if you get that, man. So it's more
Yes,
like a
sir.
chain of command, like we have been talking about. It's more like a chain of command, whereby everything goes one step at a time. All right.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So let's continue from your notes. Okay, it's 8:20.
Okay.
So it's time for the next class by 8:30. So I want to just send the memo very quickly. So do
Okay,
you have
sir.
anything on line agencies? I want to also start from our next class with line agencies. Do you have anything on
What
your
what
notes, Dema?
what I have is
Line agencies.
auxiliary agencies serves the line agencies rather than the public.
Okay, no, no, no. We are going to get auxiliary agency, but we have line agencies first before we
No,
have the
I don't.
auxiliary. So in our next class, we'll talk about this line agency. We'll take it up from the line agencies. So I need to send
Okay.
the memo for GST 202 class now. So
Okay,
I'll
sir.
I'll see you in GST 2 class, man. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you very much, sir.
You
So
have a
grateful.
wonderful evening, man.
Yeah, you too, sir.